Hello, I am Avery or Hazel or Kylie. You can just pick one. I don't care.
Hello, I am Lily.
Look at my throat.
No.
Anyway, welcome to the From the Closet podcast. Today we are covering The Lion King. So obviously this podcast will contain spoilers for that movie, although I genuinely don't know how you haven't seen this movie before now.
I mean, it took me a while for me to watch it for the first time.
When did you first watch it?
10, maybe?
That's not that bad. I mean, you're like, what, 17 now?
19.
Close enough.
But I mean,
But
I honestly just cannot remember the last time I watched it. I know. Okay, you know, no, that's the rambling. After we get all of the stuff out of the way.
I mean, I know I watched it fairly young. As for when I first saw it, I have no clue. But anyway, I guess I should say we're doing the 1994 version, but that's probably going to be in the title anyway. Um,
Is it?
so, I mean, I think we should probably put it in the title,
Okay.
just to be safe. Um, but regardless, there will be a link in the description below to the Just Watch page for this movie if you would like to avoid spoilers. That page will have links to every place you can rent, purchase, or stream the movie with price matching, like with price comparison. That's the word, not matching. With price comparison for renting and purchasing. For us here in the U.S., it is currently free. Well, not free. Why did I say free? It's currently available on Disney Plus.
It is currently free if you pay for Disney Plus.
It's currently free if you get someone else to pay for Disney Plus for you and give you their password.
No, what was that poster like? Buy two, get two. No,
Yeah.
uh, I love that one. Anyway, um, something about Patreon.
Buy buy one hang on. Buy one for the price of two and get one free.
I love random images.
But anyway, also in the description below is a link to our Patreon where you can vote on future episodes of this show, as well as get access to episodes before they release, as well as early access to episodes of our sister show, Off the Shelf, which is about books. And that podcast is exclusive to YouTube and Patreon. And also in the description is a link to Spotify for podcasters, which itself has links to every platform this podcast is on, as well as links to our Instagram and Twitter, where you can be notified when we release new episodes. If you'd like to support the podcast but cannot do so financially, listening to it on Spotify is the best way. We've recently lost monetization on all of our episodes, and the only way for us to get it back is to get more listeners on Spotify.
And if you have them, you can also recommend them and us to your friends.
Wow. Just a backhanded
I wouldn't know how that.
recommendation there.
I wouldn't know how that would feel like because I don't have them.
Yeah, sure. Nice save there. Really smooth. Can you
I
spin the wheel now?
fine. I mean, I like two total. Oh my god! Google.
Ah, yes. Yahoo. Yahoo. I love screaming search engines.
I hate.
Bing.
No. This is stupid. No, we were literally just talking about this. How the hell? No, I'd actually have to screenshot this to you for you to believe this.
Yeah, go ahead. We'll
It's
see if my phone
Moana.
just Oh my god, it's wow. So before the podcast, I had to replace The Lion King on the wheel. And I said Moana. And Lily had said something to the effect of, wow, another Disney movie back to back. And I was like, there's no way the wheel will land on it.
Then I said something to the effect of, "Well, you cursed it. You it is now going to land on Moana, and
That's exactly what happened. I had a feeling that that would probably happen just because of that whole conversation.
I
But that
I can't believe it. Just
that's fucking great.
how
But
are the odds? This just proves that our universe works on comedic timing.
yeah, but anyway, so you can join us tomorrow for Moana and next week for our free movie of the month, as well as Black Panther. Damn, some good movies lining up.
Ooh. I mean, we don't know. The free movie of the month could be absolute trash.
Yeah, I mean, because we've covered some absolutely garbage free movies of the month, like Zapped
We
and the
also
Angry Birds movie,
we also covered the most mid movie to ever exist.
The Last
Yeah,
Unicorn.
The Last Unicorn.
Yeah. But anyway, get out if you'd like to avoid spoilers, because we're going to start talking about the movie now. All right, so have
Mufasa
you heard of
fucking
Hamlet?
died.
Yeah, it is rumored that in one of the circles of hell, people are forced to endure the Mufasa's death scene for all eternity as their eternal punishment.
And that's nothing.
Sure, sure, that's nothing.
You think I cried? Not even a tear.
Uh huh.
I'm just built differently.
Yeah, it's okay. We believe you.
I mean,
But
I've seen some other like more sad things. It's definitely not as sad when you already know it's coming. It's like
yeah,
the only thing I had looked forward to in this watch through is the Scar saying, "Long live the king."
I mean, I would say this movie, it might be a hot take to some people, but I would say this movie is like among like Disney's best. I would put it in like Walt Disney Animation Studios like top 5, maybe even top 3.
I don't know if I'm gonna go that high, but I'd absolutely not say that's a hot take. Like, definitely not something I could maybe agree with, maybe not. I haven't put much thought into it, but I can't blame you for thinking that.
I mean, my personal take is that Walt Disney Animation Studios' 5 best movies are The Lion King, Lilo and Stitch, Wreck-It Ralph, Atlantis the Lost Empire, and Tangled. Not necessarily in that order.
I have a bone to pick with at least some of those, but you know,
I'm not sure what bone you have to pick with any of them, like other than maybe Wreck-It Ralph, because
well,
like
okay,
I
bone to pick, not like the style of the actual movie, just like being the top. Lilo and Stitch was good, but I definitely would not call it my favorite. You know.
I mean, I know you have said in the past that Zootopia is your favorite Disney Animation Studios movie. Um,
I mean, to be fair, that's only like I had never actually put much thought into it, so that is it would be pretty easy to dethrone it. But yeah, that is at this current time.
yeah, for me, I just have concerns over how well that movie is going to age. Um, I do think it's a fairly enjoyable movie, but I also really just don't like the twist villain.
Yeah, just really love it for the characters. I love for the
Yeah,
characters, I swear.
uh-huh.
But of course, we're talking about Zootopia, so I guess we should talk about what Zootopia and Lion King have in common.
No, we should talk about we should talk about the earlier Disney movie that like turned people into furries.
The simple times in Disney. We can just
Simple.
show two lions and everyone makes fan art on it.
Uh-huh. Um, so I don't know, like this movie, it feels like a masterpiece to me, and I just have questions as to why they thought remaking it was a good idea, and remaking it, like, it's not even live action, it's all CGI, and yet somehow the animals are less expressive.
Amazing. See, this is okay. This is the exact reason on why I hate animation movies being remade into live action. It's basically saying that animation is less than live action, and you have to aspire to be live action. It's just so bullshit.
Eh, I don't really know that it's saying that.
Okay, but like The Lion King, there was no point in a live action remake, and it's
Except, like, I don't even think anything in it is live action. Like, even the backgrounds, I don't think those are live action.
yeah.
So
Sorry,
it's,
there's no reason for it to be made unless you really just like, oh, that lion looks like a lion. But guess what? The lion in the live action, just while it looked like a live action lion, still looked like a fucking lion. It's
and
ridiculous.
I don't know. It just didn't make sense to me. And it's funny because despite that movie not being live action at all, it was disqualified from being considered in the running for best animated feature at the Oscars.
Ha! It's neither live action or animation. It's a disgrace.
But then again, respecting the Academy's views on, like, animation is I don't know. Like, hell, they disqualified the Polar Express for not being animated enough.
What does that mean? Sorry, you're not animating enough.
Yeah, because the Polar Express used too much motion capture, and therefore it didn't qualify as animation.
I don't think they know what animation is.
Yeah, like, next you're gonna tell me that, like, Ruby doesn't count as animation because, like, all of the fight scenes are done with motion capture.
Yeah, well, this is a
But
absolute timeless classic.
yeah, for sure. The songs are all great, although I, I
Hmm.
I will say, if I find it a little weird, like, hearing the actual movie version of "Can You Feel the Love Tonight," because I am so used to the Elton John version, and the lyrics are completely different.
Really?
Yeah,
I think I prefer the original one, but it's just me. And it's also I think, and not like I know.
yeah. I mean, I personally really love the Elton John version. But yeah, all the songs are catchy. I also find a couple of the other songs that, like, aren't really like pieces of the movie soundtrack, but just random things like the characters were singing.
Hmm.
I also found those, like, pretty funny. Be Prepared slaps. Hakuna Matata, of course, slaps. I also find it a little interesting that they used the sound of a tuba to insinuate that Pumbaa farted.
I don't know why you DM'd me that. Of course we have the other songs too. Now we're mentioning them. I Can't Wait to Be King, and you already mentioned the last song.
Yeah. Of course, we also probably should talk about Circle of Life, but I don't know. That one doesn't strike me nearly as much. It's like mostly the intro
Hmm.
to it, and then the rest of it is just kind of mid for me.
Also, like, I swear to God, if they make another monkey's uncle joke. Though the only one I can remember off the top of my head is like, "What, the monkey's your uncle?"
Yeah, it was a. There are a lot of dad jokes in this movie. What's a motto? Nothing. What's a motto with you?
Which is funny, because at this day and age, a lot of the people who grew up with this movie are dads.
Yeah,
I know, my dad, always had,
I certainly know a few dads who grew up with this movie.
when, when did
But
this
yeah,
movie
like
release?
1994.
Yikes.
Yeah. So this movie is almost 30 years old. So
That's
let
old.
that sink in for a minute. We have it. Oh God, we've covered a lot of random movies on this podcast that don't feel quite as old as they are. Like
Yeah.
Finding Nemo does not
I mean,
feel
some of
like
the
it came
oldest
out
movies we
almost
cover, like My Neighbor Totoro, Back to the
Snow White.
Future.
Snow White.
But I mean, like, someone could say, like, "Oh, did you hear about Lion King releasing yesterday?" It's like, "Oh yeah, yeah, that totally released yesterday, not like 30 years ago."
Yeah, I mean, and it's like Finding Nemo was the first movie I saw as it was coming out, and it does not feel like that movie came out 20 years ago.
Oh my god, I was looking through, Wally. God, Wally, my favorite Pixar movie. I know that's like 10 plus years ago.
15.
Too old. I'm too old.
But yeah, like I don't know, this movie it for sure has to go down as a masterpiece. I think I have a problem though with
Hmm.
like how Frozen basically just copies over its plot.
And does it worse?
Yeah, it does it significantly worse. Granted, The Lion King is copying Hamlet, but it does it in a way where like it's still really good.
Um,
Frozen
Frozen
Frozen felt like Frozen felt like it copied The Lion King's plot because it didn't know what else to do.
Frozen also have like those catchy pop songs.
That
That's
are not as good as this movie's.
that's all it was. It was just like, oh yeah, we're the Lion King. We can make some good songs, but you can't.
Eh. And it's just I don't know. Um I feel like they were trying to recreate what they did with The Lion King, and there were even people when Frozen came out saying it was the best Disney movie since The Lion King, and I'm like, bro, are you high? That movie is not better than Lilo and Stitch or Tangled or Wreck-It Ralph
Yeah,
or Atlantis: The Lost Empire or Treasure Planet. It might be better than Brother Bear. I don't know. I haven't seen it in a long time.
I don't know. Frozen did something. I don't know what it did, but it did something like everyone in the fucking world was like, "I love you, Disney. Oh, Frozen's such a good movie." I mean,
And
my
this isn't for me, this isn't even compulsive contrarianism. Like I saw this movie opening day and I hated it. So I don't know. But back to the Lion King, I do love like a lot of I love the relationships in this movie. I feel like I should see this movie more often than I like actually watch it. Because I feel like I never watch it. I feel like the last time I saw it was maybe 15 years ago actually. Um, because like I had completely forgotten like the lyrics to Be Prepared.
I actually forgot the name to be prepared. I thought it was like be afraid.
But yeah, I don't know. I think this movie's great. I really really enjoy like the whole like journey that Simba has to go through here, and it's like um accepting responsibility, but also accepting the fact that like what happened wasn't entirely his fault.
And what
Because like when
happened
you
was
think,
just totally set up.
yeah, like and also like you got to think about it too, like the whole idea of like Hakuna Matata and no worries and all that shit. Um, it is like halfway good advice. Um, like for when there are things that you can do to rectify the bad things that have happened, and like when you can step up and take accountability and do something, then it's terrible advice. But when you've already done everything you can do, I think it's pretty good advice.
Okay, at the stage that Simba was at that beginning of the movie, like there was a coup that was beginning to happen, and he was just a fucking little boy. There was nothing he
Yeah,
could do at that point
yeah,
in
there was
time.
yeah, like it's a philosophy that can like it can carry him for a while, but like once he gets older, there comes a point where like he has to leave that philosophy behind.
Oh my god, I swear I saw a Tumblr post that almost explains something like this. Um, it was like the denial of the call, or what is that saying? Like the call to action, or the hero's call.
Mm, I mean, there's like 50 billion different names for it.
Uh, but like what basically happened was denying the call leads into the call will always you'll have to answer the call someday, and the call knows where you live. And that's just
I
basically what happens when that other lion went to Simba.
Nala, Nala. Um, Also, can we talk about how criminal it is that Nala is not considered a Disney princess?
My dreams are ruined.
Yeah, but then again, no animals are. You ever notice that? I mean, unless you count Ariel as an animal.
I that's that's a loaded question. Um,
But then again, I'm if Nala did get classified as as a Disney princess, then the scene in Ralph Breaks the Internet with all the Disney princesses would have been very different.
that would have been very confusing.
I actually would it have been very different because none of the princesses even act like themselves in that scene.
Yeah, but one of them would have been a fucking lion.
Could they understand her is a good question because they couldn't understand Merida.
Rawr, 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 rawr.
God. Um, but I don't know. Like
Okay,
I would say for the other Disney princesses, like they're the main characters of their movie, but that's not entirely true because Jasmine.
no, yeah, Jasmine's not the main character. Basically, as important as Nala is.
Yeah. So
Okay, but
like
here's the thing about Nala. She's never been a princess. She
until she marries Simba. Like she's like betrothed to Simba. I feel like that
a queen,
alone makes her. I feel like being betrothed to Simba while Mufasa is alive is enough.
but Mufasa died before any official ceremony.
I mean, does it even matter? Like, Elsa's literally a queen in her movies, and she's considered a Disney princess.
That's why I consider it bullshit. I have a problem with that too.
Yeah.
No,
Uh,
there's a difference between queen and princess. I have the same thing with Mario. Like, oh, it's Princess Toadstool. Okay, but who's the king or queen? Oh no, Toadstool's just runs the thing. What
yeah,
happened?
I mean, at least with Zelda games, like it's usually very clear that there is a king, even if we never see him.
Yeah, Princess Zelda, father's the king. Makes sense. That's how hierarchy works. What is this shit?
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, I think I feel like this movie, a lot has been said about it that like it's kind of hard to come up with new things to say here, um, because everything good that can be said about it has probably already been said by someone else.
And
Like the
probably
score is
better.
great. Yeah, like the score is great, the songs are great, the animation's great, characters are great,
Plot's
lessons
great.
are great. Yeah, like what more do you want from us? It's kind of it's hard to have this discussion when so many other people have had it before.
What,
It's
you want
not
to
like a
talk about the
movie.
Lion King DS game that probably exists?
There's a apparently the Lion King on Super Nintendo is actually a really good game.
Huh.
I haven't played it, but it's apparently pretty good.
It's like everything under the sun has a DS game.
I'm not sure that Lion King does.
I'm gonna check.
But
Why?
like, I mean, it's not like a movie like Rio where not enough people appreciate it and there's actually stuff for us to talk about.
I mean, I if we had like an extended version of Rio, I think I could still talk about that movie.
Yeah, like there's a lot of movies where we've felt like we had to like cut the podcast short because we could legitimately talk for hours about it. But like with this, I feel like every discussion that can be had on this movie has already been had, which probably means we shouldn't have even covered it.
I mean,
But
it's just an excuse to watch it.
yeah, it is a good excuse to watch it, I guess. But I don't know. Like everything about this movie, it's great. Like I'm not even really gonna dock off points for the fart jokes because they at least do it tastefully.
By the
Um,
way, there is a GBA game on the Lion King 1.2,
that might just be a port of the SNES game.
or one and a half.
Oh, one and a half. Oh, okay. Well, that's definitely not a port. That's based on the one and a half movie, which we might cover, but it's not going on the wheel straight away.
Now that's a movie we can discuss fully on because no one remembers it.
Oh God, you're breaking up a lot.
Oh, sorry. Is this better?
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah, that's a movie we can discuss fully because no one remembers it.
Yeah, like I mean, there are people who remember it, especially because of the Dig a Tunnel song. Um, Although I think a lot of people probably assume that came from the first movie and don't realize it came from one and a half.
Yeah, or like maybe like a cut song.
Yeah, but I mean, regardless, this movie's great. Why does the 2019 remake exist? I think it was 2019. Um,
Yeah, that sounds right.
yeah, but regardless, like I don't know if we really have much more we can say on this. So, do you want to read like the critic ratings?
2019. Um, that this will be interesting. Where's the critic ratings? Critic weightings. Um,
Yes, the critic ratings.
so yeah, IMDb gives this a 8.5 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes gives this a 93%, and 90% of Google users like this movie.
Honestly, those are lower than what I would have expected. Um, Thinking about it, I think I'm going to give this movie a 9.6.
That's high.
I mean, it
Deserved
it
high, but
yeah,
high.
like it's very deserved. This movie, like, it very much stands the test of time, and I think it will continue to do so for even like more decades to come.
Hmm. Well, one day we'll cover the 1.5 because I'm interested in that. But I'm gonna give this a 9.3.
All right. Well, I believe that's just about all for today. So you can join us tomorrow for Moana, and you can join us next week for our free movie of the month. We don't know what that is yet, and Black Panther. But with all that being said, I've been Avery. That's been Lily. We will be seeing you.